Hi there, it's Nicole, and today I have a card showcasing the Whimsy Stamps Spring Wreath stamp set and coordinating dies. This is an awesome wreath builder stamp set with several greetings, and what I love is that there's even coordinating die cuts for the greetings, which makes it really easy to create two-tone greetings, and I'll show you that here in a second. To start, I've cut a white card base, just a standard A2 size, 5.5 inches by 4 1/4. I'm going to have to trim that down a little because I've cut a strip of My Favorite Things chevron paper to go along the bottom edge of the card for a little pop of color. And I'm doing that because it's a really clean and simple design here today. I'm inking up the leaves wreath design with the jalapeno Lawn Fawn ink and then stamping that on my white card base. Now, I could have definitely created a fuller wreath by maybe just kind of slightly adjusting those leaves and stamping it a couple more times, even with additional colors, and made a fuller wreath. But I wanted to fill mine in with flowers, so I just stamped it once. And I had to stamp it over the initial stamping because the first one didn't stamp really clearly. Then I stamped the greeting with the Lawn Fawn black licorice ink. And that's out on the actual card itself. Then I've stamped it again with the plastic flamingo ink on some smooth white cardstock, as well as the bow from the Spring Wreath stamp set. And then I'm going to stamp the coordinating kind of highlight area of that bow with the Lawn Fawn lobster ink, and that gives that great two-tone look. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside for a minute and start filling in my wreath with flowers. I am using the Lawn Fawn Sunflower, Fake Tan, and Plastic Flamingo inks for all of my flowers. I love this grid paper work surface from Simon Says Stamp because I will stamp a lot of these images off on the scrap paper first to see if I kind of like them or whatever. If I've not used stamps before, this is a great way to kind of get that film off of your clear stamps if there's any on there, so that you get a really nice stamped impression on your actual project. I am really filling this wreath in with lots and lots of florals. I want it to be nice and circular in design. I'll go ahead and die cut the word thinking using the coordinating die, and it's perfectly going to die cut that word, bypassing all of the other greeting there, so that's going to be the only thing. Use the bow die cut as well. Run those through my Big Shot die cutting machine. Go ahead and move that out of the way. Put my dies back. I always like to put my dies right away back on the magnetic sheet so that I don't accidentally lose them. And then pop those two just in place so that I see if I like those. And you can see how great that those two shades of colors look for the greeting. So simple and easy to do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my white panel to that chevron one. I'm actually just using the guideline of the grid paper to measure out 4.5 inches so that it's perfectly sized. Go ahead and press that down in place. I'm also going to use a little bit of black cardstock. That one's a little too short. I'm going to have to cut another one. And place that where the white background and the chevron pattern meet. And this is, I don't know why I didn't notice that wasn't too short. So I did just trim another really thin strip of cardstock. I'm going to use that liquid glue there. And make sure it overhangs both sides. I would rather start with something too long than too short. Once that is nice and secure, I can flip it over and trim off the excess. I'm going to use some glue dots to attach both the word thinking and the bow to the wreath. And I did stamp those little dots. I don't know that I got that on video, but all those little dots around the wreath are another wreath design from the Spring Wreath stamp set, stamped with the celery Lawn Fawn ink. A little bit lighter than the jalapeno. go ahead and flip this over now, trim off that excess black strip. Now to add just a little bit of dimension and to really finish off the wreath, I'm going to use some teeny tiny green pearls from Doodlebug. I've had these forever, but as I was applying these, I realized I didn't really have enough of the smallest size. They're always the ones I use the most of. So instead of going to another color or something like that, I took some pearl gemstones and a Copic marker, which is an alcohol ink-based marker, and I'm coloring in the amount of gemstones I need with a slightly less green marker than the dark green pearls I used from Doodlebug, and that's going to give me just some nice variety. I definitely could have picked a green marker closer to the darker green shade if I wanted to. Again, I'm just going to pick all these up, pop those in place, and I think that really finishes off the wreath design, all those flowers. I'm going to round the top 2 corners with a 1/2 inch corner rounder, and that's going to finish off this really clean and simple card. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Whimsy Stamps Spring Wreath Stamps and Dies. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos showcasing Whimsy stamps you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.